Awesome. All right. Where shall we start? Let's start with the big box. The big box. You can. You can also help me tell me how the image is. Oh. All right, let's get this. All right, so text is here. Yes, it's a box. You're right, Chaos. I like my boxes. So I picked up Tearfing Rosewill case. Not that I know a lot about cases, to be honest. It fit the specs. Came recommended. Oops. Alrighty. This is not a micro, as you can tell. Hmm?
Why do you have multiple camera windows open?
Okay, the screen on the right is to help you watch chat.
Oh, okay.
The screen on the left is to show you exactly what's on the camera right now, without the delay.
Okay.
And Chaos right now is in there. I am. Tell you what I'm going to do. Do it this way. There we go.
Hello. How are you, Chaos?
Hey, did that pick up?
Pro strats.
Hmm?
Pro strats.
Is he saying pro strats? Oh, strategies, yeah. I think I want to put some... Obviously, I didn't actually open anything before this either. All right. Can't say they did not pack it securely. Oh, seriously, this has been the hardest box I think I've ever had to open in my life. I'm about ready to just cut the whole thing open. Wow. This is ridiculous. There's not enough weight in this. All right. Sweetie, come over here, would you? Unrepeatable things being said?
No.
Just push that down.
You didn't tell me I was going to be on this stage.
Nope, you're not, because I'm in front of you. All right, that's good. Go away. I'm going to get out of the camera, I mean. I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, for crying out loud. All right, 30 minutes later in the stream. All right. Hmm?
It says this channel's offline, but clearly it's not.
No, it's not. Don't worry about it. Is it showing? It just hasn't. It'll Twitch will start displaying my stream, but not update the text around the window.
Okay.
So when I got there, I was offline.
Okay.
All right. Finally, okay. So, all right. Tell me how I am with my frame.
You're in the middle.
Okay, so I've got. How am I doing there?
Trying to work your mouse. It's just broken. You're good. You're at the top.
Okay, good. So I've got a few. So I've got a 3.0 USB and a couple 2.0s up front. Little power button. I see the mic and the headset port. That's the top, not the front. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, that's the top. I knew that.
Chaos says it looks like a house with that roof.
Yeah, it does. But it looks less like a house when you actually put it facing forward. Look at that. How's that for pro strats? So I did get a case big enough for a 5.25 inch drive because I do want to have CDs. I do have some old games and stuff like that that are still on CD. So that's not, having a CD drive is not completely useless to me. So yeah, you already saw the venting up the front. Or the top. Sorry, I just called it the front again.
It says, ooh, genius.
So we've got a side window. I'm not going to take off the film yet. I'll do that last.
Or never.
No, I'll do that last. I will not never do that. I don't really care about this side stuff, but so we got here. We have, yeah, okay. You move that back, thank you. I'll put that more on the table now. That's steady. So got nice, quick, easy screws to take the case off, and I have plenty of expansion bay room here. Well, let's take a look. You can hear all the extra screws and stuff they gave us sliding around on the inside. My wife is being my camera woman, which is awesome. Thank you.
Can't see your face.
Can't see her face the way I like it.
Can't see your face.
Can't see my face. I don't care. Unless somebody else wants to see my face. If somebody wants to see my face, that's fine.
I can see your face.
Chaos, can you hear my wife chattering from the side?
He said not very.
Not very. Okay. So, I don't want to. So, what do I got? So, here's the wires for the drives and stuff. Or actually, it's the front. I believe it's actually the front. The front of the case, yeah. It's the front of the case. Got a hard drive bays here. Without looking at anything else yet, this looks like there's plenty of space for the GTX 950 to go in here. So we've got one. You know what? We've got a ruler around here somewhere, don't we? Because I honestly didn't check the fan size. All right, running off to get this is the only hard drive space though. Yeah, but that's not a problem. So even a long card can go in here. I won't have to take out another case. I saw another PC build where the person had to remove that case to get the video card in. But I also ordered, I think, a larger case in general. Wow, this. So this is 4 1/4 inches. So that's 4 times 2.2 is 8.8.
It's about 9. It's 9 inches.
That doesn't sound right.
Chaos Breed says, don't show me my insides on the internet, senpai.
These are not your insides. This is a lack of insides. We will pull your insides out and show them to you. All right, so that is probably a 120 millimeter fan. I'm only guessing because that was a standard ruler because Americans are stupid and still use feet and inches. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on real quick. What, does it have millimeters on it? Oh, woo, look, it has millimeters. That's what I was looking for. So this fan is yes, this is going to be a 120-ish fan. Or is this 110? Yeah, 110. Huh. Well, I'm measuring the fan blades. Maybe what I should be doing is actually measuring from the actual side of the fan housing, which would put it at 120.
Gave surprised horror face, probably in response to the. I'll show you your insides.
Yeah, probably. Surprised horror. You know what's worse than surprised horror? Expected horror. Because then you have to sit there and think about it coming. Yeah. I like horror, by the way. I'm a big horror fan. Yes. That case will just go right there for now. Oh, and of course, some instruction booklet to help us figure out, for us dummies, or people who like to make steaks like me, where different cords go. The first PC I built, this will be my second PC I've built. The first PC I built wrong, and I hooked up the case to motherboard connections wrong. And when I first went to plug in a headset to the front jack, the computer rebooted. So I apparently connected it to the reset. That's a great idea.
Who needs instruction manuals?
Hey, I'm XY. I don't need instruction manuals.
So true. So true.
All right. As you can see, next is the monitor. I actually wanted a smaller monitor, just not a lesser quality monitor, because you can start to see the room that I have in my desk. And for streaming, I do want the dual monitors. So trying to get two 22-inch screens in here would be really difficult. But it was really difficult to find a good quality monitor with speakers. Yes, monitor speakers. I'm not an audiophile or a graphic file. And if I'm not wearing this Logitech headset, which sounds great, then I don't care that much what it sounds like. And I did not want like another 5.1 surround sound system, which I already owned. So got the instruction manual, and it does have an audio cable here for the sound.
Monitor speakers, puke.
Yeah, I know. Most people are going to be puke. And you know, I've never had a computer with monitor speakers, so I may very well start using it and puke myself. So there's our another monitor. Oh, I didn't even specify. So this is an Asus VP228 LCD 21.5 inch. What did I do with the other box? There it is. Great. All right, and there's our base. Pretty standard, I'm sure. Circular, not leg. There's some more cables in that box. So I almost had an accident. I was holding it by this and it started rotating. It wouldn't go far. But so this is about what I'm gonna have. So that's gonna that's gonna fit about here, and then I'll have another. I think it's a 20-inch screen over here. So they're probably gonna have to be angled a little bit. I do not know the stats of these things off the top of my head, so I can't tell you what all they are. That might have been a nice thing. What's the little advertisement stuff on the side say? Flicker free, blah blah. Visa wall mount. I'm not going to wall mount it. It's going to be on the desk. It does do. I was looking for a monitor that did 19 by 1060, 1920 or whatever that number is by 1060. That's what I was looking for. Oh, and Chaos, if you're interested or anybody else, I did select these parts using PC Parts Picker. So I do have a link I could get if anybody's interested in seeing the exact, well, mostly the exact part list. I will have to sit down and get it if anybody does want it, but that won't take but a minute. So let me put that to the side. Yay, monitor! Monitor was a purchase I had to make since I've been using a laptop for years. So replacing that meant getting a new monitor. All right, let's open one of the fun boxes, shall we? So, like I said, I use PC Parts Picker. So the case and the monitor and everything in this box came from Newegg. The keyboard came from Best Buy because it was $60 cheaper than everywhere else. And the rest of the parts I got off of Amazon. If you saw my earlier video that I recorded today at lunch, I ordered a Logitech C525 web camera. I do believe it's here in this Amazon box. And then my wife and I opened each other's Christmas presents and the Christmas presents from my parents last night. And lo and behold, there was a Logitech C920, which is what we're filming with right now, in the box. So I'll be returning, I'll be returning this right here. So no opening of this one. So false advertising right there, guys. No unboxing. I mean, I guess you could say I unboxed this. All right, so would you pick up the, actually like pick up my mouse and put it in front of the screen wherever it's good to see it. Is that good? So I actually have a Logitech TrackMan. Found that at a yard sale. Picked it up for $1 or $2. I don't remember. And if you don't know, those things are super old. Turns out Logitech stopped making them because they got sued. But it was a really well-loved design. So if you go on Amazon right now, those are selling for $120. But it's starting to fail, which most of them do start to fail. The wireless Logitech M570 is the mouse I ended up picking up. I do trackballs because my wrists tend to hurt. They're not really great for, at least in my hands, they're not really great in first-person shooters. But really, how hard is that to really say? Because I'm not really good at first-person shooters in the first place. So.
Yes, Reed says, opening Christmas presents before Christmas.
Yeah, well.
Snarky face.
We do that because we're both from out of state, from where we live right now. So we usually fly to her parents, and that means, let's not pay the extra, check luggage thing to bring presents, only to turn around and bring them back. I mean, we'll bring other people's presents out there and return with our own, so it's easier to just have them get us less or get us more mobile things. Logitech really protects their things from being stolen because they're small, and I understand. Where's that scissors? Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. He says trackball mouse. Ah!
Yeah. I've really adapted to it quite well, I think. Like I said, it's still not super good for zooming around in a first-person shooter map, but it works. Wow, check that out. That's how that folds out. That's a nifty design. Creative boxing. Does this whole thing have to be? Oh my. I am so rude. Chaos, what have you been up to? So, this may be no Logitech trackball or TrackMan, but I still expect it to be good. The reviews are good. It's wireless, so I've got the USB plug there. I am a little concerned. So I've got a USB plug for this. I've got a USB plug for these headsets. Though apparently some of the Logitech stuff will all work off of the same wireless USB. I want to call it a receiver, but it is receiving. It's receiving on one side and sending on the other. But anyways, I read somewhere that you can use one plug for multiple devices. So I'm hoping that's the case, so I don't have to take up a whole lot of my USB ports with all these wireless connections. So it's a pretty simple mouse. 2 buttons with the wheel scroll bar and 2 other little buttons there that I don't even know what they're for. I'm kind of a Luddite. I don't do like gaming keyboards and gaming mice. I just need 2 or 3 buttons on my mice. That's it. When I was looking for keyboards, I kept going through my search, and there are all these keyboards where WASD and the arrow keys are colored differently, and I was just like, no.
He says he's been sleeping till like an hour ago, and even if not, you could still get a USB hub.
Yeah, I could definitely get a USB hub. It's not the biggest deal in the world. All right, don't care about that. Go away. Not important. What is in this? What is in this plain, boring-looking box? I have rebates to send in for a lot of this stuff. I think actually all the rebates are in the Newegg box. Oh, I think I know what this is. Oh yeah, this is my 1 terabyte hard drive. So if you haven't ever gone to PC Parts Picker, one thing it does is it helps filter out incompatible parts. The other thing it does, if you don't want to pick a specific part, which I would actually kind of suggest against for most of your build, you put in parameters. Originally, I put in parameters for, hey, I want a 7200 hard disk drive, anywhere between 400 gigabytes and 1.1 terabytes. A few days before I put in my orders, it had a 520, 560 or something gigabyte hard drive. But somebody selling on Amazon dropped their prices by the time I actually went, so PC Parts Picker automatically updated my part selection and put on this 1 terabyte Seagate hard drive. So yeah, Seagate hard drive, 1 terabyte, SATA 6 compatible. So should get some really good read and transfer speeds out of this. It's a hard drive. No, it is not my only hard drive. I did also get a solid state drive as well. That's just in a different box. Thank you. So here we've got a 400 watt EVGA power supply, all nice and wrapped.
Solid state drive. Whoa.
I've heard nothing but good stuff about solid state drives. I was a little concerned at first as far as just like, I guess what I want to say is bleeding edge technology. Like, is it good enough yet? But I've heard nothing but raves. I did play a first-person shooter on my PS3, Eve Dust 514, and it had horrible loading times. But the people who replaced the hard disk drive that the PlayStation 3 comes with a solid-state drive, loaded to the map tons faster than everybody else. There were all these speed reports. And I have some other friends who had moved to solid-state drives. So the solid-state drive will be holding my operating system and my whichever game that I'm playing at that moment that requires good fast speed. Just FYI, that did not make it to the trash. So what do we got here? Pretty tightly packed. When picking out the parameters for my power supply, I did not check modular because I didn't know what that meant, and I should have done research first. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'll say that again in case that box blurted it out. You see all these wires are connected to the power supply. Know what?
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a lot of wires. So these are connected to my power supply. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way to do good cable management, in my case, to keep them out of the way. However, if you get a modular power supply unit, or PSU, if you get caught by that acronym on a website and you're like, what the heck is that? Will come with these loose with plugs on both sides, and then the power supply unit itself will have a bunch of sockets, and then you just plug in what you need and you don't worry about the rest of it. So like I said, it's an EVGA. This is 400 watts. Where did I put? There it is.
Whoa, cables.
Yeah, this is a mess of cables. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be using some of it for sure. So this is 14 centimeters across, and the fan takes up most of the width. So this is probably like a 130. Well, technically, this is probably considered a 140 millimeter fan. Yeah, okay, so this is an example of a 140 millimeter fan. So the one inside the case is most certainly 120. Not sure about that. And it does come with obviously the power cord and the screws for securing it into the case. What I haven't decided on yet is whether or not I'm going to put this together by hooking the motherboard up directly to the power supply and the video card and the RAM and the CPU and all that stuff, and then just power it on and connect it to the monitor through the motherboard and see that it boots up, which is what I've heard somebody suggest, because they said if you have a problem, you don't want to then have to, like if there's a faulty part or something, you don't want to have to undo all your nice cable management and do all this stuff to pull it out of the case. If one of those key parts are broken, then you know it right then, and you haven't put it all in the case. I haven't decided which method I'm going to take yet. Drum roll. Last item in the Amazon box. i5. So here's the CPU. I ordered an i5 6600. It has an LGA 1151 socket. I really wanted to get the i7, as you might expect. But a lot of reports I read said the i5 is good enough. And while I will, probably get an i7 someday, my wife also needs a new computer, so I can't go spending all the computer money. Which is why I have some of the small down steps in this PC build that otherwise I wouldn't do. So here's our little warranty and their instruction set. So I did get the 6600, not the 6600K, so it is not overclocked, which is fine. Again, if you've been to my stream, you see me what games I play. The last time I bought a new computer was the laptop that I've been streaming on and playing on. I buy this $1,400 Asus Republic of Gamer laptop, 17.8 inches. And the first thing I installed on it was Baldur's Gate, which was 12 years old at the time. So, and me getting some fancy dancy computer is probably not going to help me run Dwarf Fortress any faster either. So it does come with a fan. This is the stock fan. And had I gotten the 6600K, I would have gone for a non-stock cooler. But since it is only...
Whoa.
Yeah, I really stress my computers out with the games I run, don't I? Let me go ahead and take that back out. And the chip is actually built into the side of the box, sort of. So it's folded in right there. And obviously, I'm not going to take this out of the box yet. So, and it's got all the little contacts there. 3, 2, 1. Tell me if you're old enough to know that. Hoping there's no problems with any of this stuff, obviously. I've been putting off doing all this, so it's going to be a real sad day if any of these things are broken and I have to wait for more, more things to be sent back and forth. That'd be really annoying. And I put it in there sideways. Doesn't matter. Will you take this? Don't! Kidding. She didn't drop it or anything. I was just joking. Hey, look, an empty box. Woo! Let's take it down a step. Look at this box. They did a really good job on this box, didn't they? My goodness.
Almost got me.
Thanks for joining me, by the way, Chaos. Or joining us, really. Oops, I'm probably digging into the lid there. That never really works very well. There's a lot to learn about picking out a keyboard if you're being really specific and not just going to a store and typing away and going, yeah, that works. If you're actually trying to use the parameters of keyboards to figure out what you want. I wouldn't say I did a lot of research, but I did learn a bunch of things that I didn't know before. So here we go. Logitech G710 Brown. So brown has to do with the exact mechanics of the button pushing sensing. What? This has colored keys. Like I said, I didn't want. Arg. I guess I'll live with it. I'll live with it. I'm not going to throw too much of a fit. I mean, obviously I chose it. But this was $120 to $130 on Newegg and Amazon, and Best Buy had it for $60, $65. So I actually wanted the Logitech like C510 or something like that. But with that price difference, there was no way, with that price advantage, there was no way I was not going to take this one. I did go for wired, because again, I didn't want tons of wireless things. I also just don't want to go through that many batteries, to be honest. This headset has, its own battery cell on the inside. It doesn't take, double A's or triple A's or anything like that. Yes. Whoa! You got to see my keyboard before I did. Anyways, it's just a keyboard. So it is wired, which is fine. It's not like I'm going to be sitting back on a couch somewhere playing anyways. Holy crap, look at the size of that cord. That's a pretty thick cord. Because it's 2 cords. Why is it double USB? That's interesting. I've never seen that before. I don't even know what that's for. I did not apparently do enough research. So I'm going to take it out of the bag here so I can really show it off without having all that bag glare, I guess. Onto the keyboard? Let me find out. Like I said, I didn't actually do a lot of research. A lot of the research that I did was just what kind of button press it was. I did want a mechanical. I used to love clicky keyboards. Yes, that's what it is. So it does have an additional USB socket right there. So that would tell me that one of these is for the keyboard. Yep. So this one's for the keyboard, and this is for whatever else I've plugged into that. Which meant if I had a wired mouse, I could just plug it in right there. So it's got 10 key separated off. I love 10 keys, and I love them nice and distant away from it. Oh, there's a volume scroll wheel on there. That's different. I like the font. I like the font on those, like page up, home, down buttons. I don't know if you can see it or not. And it's going to try to autofocus. So I'm going to hold it there for a bit and bring it back. Yeah, so I do have black buttons except for the arrow keys and the WASD, which is black. That's fine. It is lit, and I have, I guess, 6 programmable buttons on the side. Again, I haven't looked into that. This is one of those, keyboard for me was unfortunately one of these issues where, well, I don't want a cheap keyboard. I don't want one that's going to operate cheaply. But in order to avoid that, a lot of times, I feel like you have to not order cheaply. But you can't get just some really smooth functioning keyboard without lots of bells and whistles for a good amount of money. Maybe that was half expectation, but let's be honest. I really wanted my new computer, and if picking a new keyboard was going to delay it by an extra day, I wasn't going to study. Who cares? Give me a keyboard. New computer.
The arrow and the WASD keys are made of a different material, right?
Do not know. I do not know. Let's find out. They, of course, did provide a manual and stuff. I could just touch them. That might have been a smart thing to do, but I did just put it away. This is probably just installation and stuff like that. That doesn't really matter. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well. They don't feel any different to me, Chaos. They feel different to you? I don't feel any different. It just looks like they're different colored. Could totally be wrong, but and I pressed them as well, and they didn't feel. I don't feel like they pressed differently either, which I didn't expect them to. So here's the Newegg box. The new Newegg box. Not the new egg box. Eggs! Chaos. Have you ever seen the movie Troll? Or sorry, not Troll. Trolls. Box Trolls. Box Trolls. That's what I was thinking of.
The new egg question?
Hmm?
The new egg question, but I think he has some kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think he knows what you're talking about.
Noisemakers!
Not seen that movie.
Box Trolls is hilarious. Has this meta self-aware thing in the credits also. It's really good. The girl character's creepy. She's awesome. Alright, I'm just kind of taking out of the box. Oh, look! McCaffrey! Yay. Alright. Well, what came out of this box first?
Make them pop.
There. There we go. Got one. She got me. Anyways. Well, this is clearly... I was about to say the wrong thing. So, I'm glad I stopped. I was just a little surprised at its size. But this is the CD drive. I got a DVD drive, like I said. 5 and a, I went for, I think I went for a loose release kind. I can't remember, honestly. But, this came without a box. It's just wrapped in some really serious bubble wrap. Holy cow. That's some serious stuff right there. All right, that was exciting. Onward. Did he say that or did you say that?
I did.
You said that. Okay. So, Crucial, 8 gig memory. This is another one of the places where I skimped for now. I would like to get 16, and I do think that streaming and playing any really serious games is going to really benefit from having 16 gig of RAM. But the huge difference for me is going to have, is with the i5 and with the video card, having hardware compression rather than having my CPU taking up cycles trying to compress the game as well as play the game and watch it run OBS in itself and that was just really killing me in some places. I'm probably going to be streaming Chronicle RuneScape almost non-stop because I haven't been able to stream that. That has just been a horrible experience. This is not wrapped, so I'm not going to touch it right now, but so there's the chip. So it is, so I've got Crucial, and this is DDR4, 2133. And if I remember right, this is 2x4. Would you do me a favor? I mean, another favor, actually. Would you pull up, this is Newegg. Would you pull up my Newegg site? My Newegg page, and I do want to tell Chaos whether this is 1x8 or 2x4, 8 gig chip. Might be able to tell somewhere on the serial number or the model number, but I don't know. Where I would look for that. But it's 8 gig. Like I said, I do plan on getting 16 gig later. It wasn't your fault. It's just... All right. Sort of the pièce de résistance. Ooh, look at that. I think I said that well. Oh, no. Oh, no. Still super important. Motherboard. So, obviously,
1 by 8.
it's a 1x8 memory chip.
4.
What?
It has 4 and then 4.
So it's a 2x4, not a 1x8.
It's not 1, 2. It's not 2. Okay, no. It's not 2 rows and 4 columns. It's 8 columns with 1 row with a gap in the middle.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Oh. Huh. Well, it doesn't say it right there on Newegg. I'm surprised. Huh. Okay. Yeah, well, that might be a 2x4 gig RAM chip. Not entirely sure. All right, so back at it. Gigabyte. Gigabyte mother drive here. The Z170XP. So, again, I haven't built a PC in a long time, so you might know this, but this model number, this part of the model number right here refers to the chipset. So this is a chipset that can get overclocked. I'm not looking to get overclocked, and it is also SLI capable. I could SLI in the future. Obviously, advertising World of Warships.
World of Warships, LUL. Lol.
Yeah. At least it makes for a pretty box. So here it is. So we're in the winter here, so we've been heating. So static electricity has been building up. So I'll just rip this open and touch it all over. Not. So I'm not going to touch this right now. You'll see it more when we actually build. Gosh, can you see anything? Nope. Can't see anything? All right. Well then. Can't do an unboxing without actually unboxing.
It says in all caps, winter is coming.
Do you know what he's referring to?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Wow, was that stupid. I cut the side open.
Well,
That was dumb. Anyways. Okay. So here's the pretty. Here's the pretty. So we've got our CPU socket right there, where my thumb is trying to point. You've got your normal buses in the back there. We've got USB ports and a video port, probably some other stuff. Network card, audio. Is that a 15 pin? No, that's a monitor plug. Monitor plug, PS2 plug, and I forget what this one's called. It's one of the other kind of monitor plugs though, for the onboard video. So I've got some. Let me see. I have. One. I don't think that's right. I appear to have one PCI 16, PCI Express. Oh, they're labeled. They're they're labeled. So there's some SATA Express. No, are these labeled or are they just talking about it?
He says that thing has a PS2 socket.
Yeah, it does. You can put your console into it. Oh man. So it's got the plugs for your audio, for your like from the case, and your USB front port plugs and your COM plugs, and what else? TPM. TPM is somewhere in my head. I kind of know what TPM stands for. A lot of the front panel plugs here. The SATA Express are plugged in here. There's another USB front plugs. I'm going to have to take a look at what all those USB fronts are. Oh. This one looks like it's the USB 3.0 though. So yeah, I definitely see a PCI Express 16 in here. Looks like I've also got a PCI Express 2 Express 8s. These guys, which I don't remember their name. But amped up audio on the motherboard, whatever that's about. So let's put that back in the box the right way, even though I already messed it up. Let's see what else is in here. Probably the paperwork, which will come in really helpful. Like I said, the last time I put it together, that was the only problem I had, was connecting things between the motherboard and the case. So there's the panel for the back of the case. These are specific to the motherboard layout. So cases have this slot empty, that space empty, and you push that in to match the motherboard. These are a couple SATA wires, if I remember correctly, and they have an elbow on them, so that one side goes in straight and the other one can come straight down or straight up. So there's installation guide, user's manual. Feels like, yeah, there's a disk in here for a bunch of utilities. World of Warships, LOL. The SLI bridge. And the G connector sounds awfully familiar. There's a set of videos that I was watching that somebody else made of putting their computer together. Dude wasn't really a gamer, but he's going to get into streaming. Apparently he did a lot of other tech stuff. And I remember him mentioning that. I think it's an adapter plug of some kind. I cannot remember, to be honest. So if it wasn't already clear to me, it is clear to me now. This will not be being put together today, because there will be way too much manual reading involved before I really get into it. I will just have to continue being patient. Patience, yeah. How long is that going to take? Boot to the head, for anybody who knows. So, here's that tiny little awesome little pack of power right here. This little, why did I stab myself with my knife? This little thing right here is the solid state drive. I'm old, right? So I look at this and go, what the heck? You've got to be kidding me. I mean, it's not like I don't believe it, but where we've come. My first computer was monochrome. You had to push in the turbo button to get 8 megahertz out of the CPU. Obviously, single core. No hyper-threading. Hyper what? Hyper nothing. Hyper sales maybe, but no hyper tech. So that's what it is right here. Still in the case. Or in the... Oh no, it is completely exposed. Alright. So, little plugs in there. One for power, one for data. Tiny little guy. And that's 256 gig solid state drive. So like I said, I'm going to put my operating system and whatever games I'm currently really digging into at that point, if they are games that operate fast. Darkest Dungeon, Chronicles, things like that are just going to go to my terabyte hard drive because they do not require fast speed. EVE Online will probably get installed there. What is the problem? I bet you that was inside. Yeah, I don't play like Battlefield or Call of Duty or League of Legends or anything like that. I don't play a lot of competitive games. My most competitive game is EVE and Awesomenauts. So maybe I'll install Awesomenauts to the solid state drive. Windows 10. There's the operating system. I've got Windows 7 on that laptop there. I'm perfectly happy with Windows 7, but there's the march of time and then there's the march of Windows. I'll tell you which one's easier to fight. And this was what I thought was a... I'm not going to say that French phrase again. Too much work. I already said it once. But here is the video card. So it's EVGA brand. It's an NVIDIA. It's a GTX 50. Yes, GTX 50. Did I want a GTX 10 series? Absolutely. But again,
950.
what did I say?
50.
I just said GTX 50. Yeah, I got a GTX 50. Super old. It was really cheap, though.
That wouldn't be cheap. It'd be expensive.
No, probably people give that away. Anyways, so this is a GTX 950. Did I want something from the 10 series? Sure. I would like to at some point upgrade to the 1070. Maybe higher. But the 1070 should suffice for my purposes. But that was... Chaos says...
Windows 10 isn't that bad, actually. I have 7 on my old tower and 10 on my laptop.
How old's your laptop, Chaos? And yeah, you know, Windows 10, it had a bunch of problems when it started. Everybody was freaking out about it. And it leveled out just like I thought it would. Gaming FTW. Don't you love it when the old folks try to get hip? Anyways, I say, as an old folk. Alright, I'm going to make sure that I'm not trying to be dumb and open this thing.
His laptop's like a year old.
Your laptop's like a year old? Yeah. I mean, this laptop here is 5 or 6 years old. It could handle Windows 10, I think, but it would be a significant performance drop.
He says MLG.
Major League Gaming. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm trying to open this box stupidly. Because it does not seem to... I think I opened it from the bottom. Again. I wonder if I'm going to look back at these boxes and find a bunch of open here, open from this side, it's easier kind of marks. Or maybe this is just something you know if you do a lot of putting together computers. But yeah, you know, Windows 10, of course, it had some problems when it started out, but that all leveled out. I expect it to be fine. I just gonna have to get used to it. Yeah, I was just supposed to open it from this side and not the other side. So, whoa. There's a little pendant in there with my driver disc. Weird. I am probably going to do one thing I heard, which was just download all your drivers from another computer onto a thumb drive and use those to install. What the heck is this? A map to Africa? I don't know why I said Africa. I just picked something. I mean, seriously, I feel like I'm opening up like an Elder Scrolls game, and here's the map. This is a poster. Seriously, this is a poster. Arm yourself with EVGA. I'm glad I have a recycling bin. All right. Anyways. Party pooper. I'll put it up on your side of the bed then.
Okay.
So again, manual. I have some required reading for the next few days. Do not enter this bag without proper electrostatic safety equipment and shrinking technology. I don't think they meant don't enter this bag. And in case you didn't know it, don't enter this bag either. I'm going to do some more inspection because of getting rid of static electricity. I remember touching cases and things like that, but with the amount of dryness we have in our house, I'm going to be checking into that more. So here is the beast. I have never owned a video card, but maybe half this size. This is huge to me. This is monstrous. Let's not touch the connectors. So, there's PCI 16 Express interface there with the motherboard. I do believe that socket there is for SLI. There's a cover on the PCIe prong, so I couldn't have touched it anyways. So we have our, except for where I almost take it off with my hand. So we have the DVI. Is that the one that was on the back of the motherboard that I was trying to remember? I don't think so. And it's got a few other connections in here. Gosh, it's so hard to see it. So, this thing can do 3 or 4-way SLI? Seriously? Wow. Sheesh. Okay. I'm glad it has a setting up multiple displays because this will be permanently on multiple display. Oh wow, that's it. This instruction booklet is like 4 pages long for one language. All right. Okay, it's got 3 display 1.2 ports and an HDMI 2 port, and then it's got 1 DVI link. So that's the information I was looking for. So, and as you can see, it's got 2 fans. These are probably 120 then, I'm guessing. Half this stuff isn't for you all as much as it is for me to learn, unless you also want to learn. Or less. Even if I measure from the top to the bottom of the top of the card, I'm only getting 95 millimeters. So this is probably more like a 90 millimeter fan, but there are 2 of them. So this ought to be cool. Hopefully it's also quiet. Not too noisy. I do not need to be impressed by the sound of my video card, though I might be. I feel like they only plan for you to take things out of these things once because the tape on the other part of the bag is always catching to things that you're trying to put back in. see what else is in here, because I know there's some other stuff in here. Or there's not. Huh. Sure felt like it from the other side. Oh. It fell. There we go. There's the other things that were in that box. So, oh, that's interesting. So here's a DVI to VGA adapter included in the with the card, and also, this is the 8-pin power cord. So to get power to the fans, probably, I'll need to use that 8-pin power cord. So that is awesome stuff. I'm not going to put it back in the bubble wrap. It's not getting thrown around. I'm kind of hoping for a lot of snow right now. Sorry. Sorry, wife. So that I can just be in here, not have to go to work, not have to do anything, and just read up and build. But at least this is hump day, so only 2 more days left in the work week. And I think, yeah, sorry for the anticlimactic ending, but that was everything. Box, empty box, right here. So sad. So there we go. We've got a GTX 950 card from EVGA, as well as a 400 watt power supply from EVGA, a Logitech C920 webcam that's recording right now, perched on top of my laptop lid, a Logitech wireless trackball. Don't remember the model numbers. M570 or something like that. Yeah, M570. Wow, look at that. And the Logitech G710 gaming keyboard. Got Windows 10 operating system. Got a Gigabyte Z170 XP SLI compatible motherboard. An i5 6600, not 6600K, just 6600. An 8 gig of RAM from Crucial. Another Logitech camera, which will be going back. That'll get me 30, 35 bucks back or something. What am I missing? Oh, my Adata 256 gig hard drive, or not hard drive, 250. What about the core?
You didn't say this one. You combine the core and the RAM.
Oh, yeah, i5 6600, not 6600K. And then the 256 gig solid state drive, and the 1 terabyte Seagate 7200 RPM normal platter disk. We've got the Tyrfing case. Who's the Tyrfing case from? Roseville. I said it the other way when I was unboxing it. I think Roseville is the company. Yeah, Rosewell. Rosewell is the company. Tyrfing is the model of the case. And then an Asus 21.5-inch monitor with, yes, monitor speakers. Most of the time, especially if I'm doing any streaming, I'm going to be listening on my headphones anyways. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. I'm really excited to put all this together, but I just have some reading to do. I'd be doing way too much reading on stream, so I'm not gonna do that. So this is pretty cool. I'm excited. Hopefully by next weekend's stream, I'll have it all put together. Maybe Saturday's stream will actually be building rather than playing. I said this weekend's stream, right? So this weekend's stream is Sunday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We have plans on Saturday, though, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Party.
That's right, the other Christmas party. One down, one to go. And they're both work. So, yeah, so I won't be here to do a Saturday night stream, so it's just going to be Sunday night. I might get one in during the afternoon. I don't know. If you want to follow me on Twitter, which is down below in the information, I will be posting when I plan on getting on to continue with the build. Or if I do something really crazy like decide to play games instead of build. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. I'm not going to write it out as an impossibility. Okay. All right. I call this meeting adjourned. Thanks for joining me, Chaos, and anyone else out there. Like I said, I'll say on Twitter below when I plan on putting this together more. Good night.